do you think that, the pharma execs or even some of the people in the government agencies, they must have known there was damage coming if they rushed something through? Do you think they just rolled the dice and focused on the cash? Or do you think they ever on the back of the envelope said, all right, this is going to play out. There's going to be actuarial data. Like, what do we think this is going to happen? Do you think this is much more than they thought was going to happen? Or do you think they didn't even think that far?
Well, let's look at Pfizer. Let's pick on Pfizer. Let's look at the organization. Let's forget the criminal conspiracy. How could this occur accidentally? Well, a lot of momentum behind this. The government said, get this done, get this done. The clinical trials run. We've proven in one of our reports we put out a couple weeks ago that they should have known that there was a safety signal in the clinical trial. Should have been stopped, halted. That's been proven. So why wouldn't that? Did the CEO know that, or was that information kept from him because everybody, you know how organizations work? No one wants to hear bad news. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt on that. I'm not saying we will, but that's how it could happen. So much institutional momentum. No one wants to give the boss the bad news, but let's go. And there's fear and there's groupthink. That's how it could happen. But I think there's some other things potentially we need to investigate personally. But that's giving them the benefit of the doubt that institutional momentum, it was rushed. No one wanted to hear bad news. So, Borla had never heard the word that the safety signal was in the trial. That's best case for all of them. But that doesn't mean, it still doesn't matter for Borla. He's culpable. He's a CEO. He goes to jail. But, the case could be made he was a dope and he didn't know. So I don't think that gets you out of jail time, though.
Are these injured people potentially new customers now for pharma?
Absolutely. So with the compromised immune system, all sorts of new drugs can be sold to care for you. I do want to say, if you think that your immune system's been compromised, and again, I have a lot of love and empathy for the vaccinated who had to take this. I chose not to. A lot of my loved ones did. This is not an indictment of the vaccinated. A lot of people were forced into it. The people who this has become a religion for are not going to listen to me anyways. But for those of you who were forced to take it or didn't have any skin in the game and trusted, there's a test you can do. I talked to Teresa Long, Colonel Teresa Long, who has been very loudly speaking about what's going on with the pilots. She's a doctor in the Air Force, and she's been screaming from the top of the lungs about what's happening to the pilots there. There's something called a CBC test. It's called a complete blood count. And if it's low, it doesn't mean anything on the first test, but if it's low, get a second. If it's still low, your immune system may be compromised. So it's called the CBC. This can be done in any lab work. So that's just a way if you're feeling like you might have been injured, go get a CBC. I'm not a doctor, but that's what Dr. Teresa Long, Colonel Teresa Long, told me yesterday after I dropped this report. She called me immediately and she said, you're talking about the injured. And so we had a discussion about that.
Yeah, you have no idea how many people stopped me on the streets in 2021. Nurses from the NHS, workers in the tube, taxi cab drivers that said, Brian, I've been watching your videos, but I'm forced to take this vaccine. Like, I'm forced. I can't get my job. I have to do it. I've resisted it, but they're forcing me. But like, I know this is wrong. Again, these are medical people telling me this a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And I know they were pushed into it, or again, given the carrot and the stick, and the carrot's super big, and again, coerced into this. So I think it's important that you say that, because again, we were a part of this fifth generation warfare was the two camps, right? The vax and the anti-vax, and we're at war with each other, and we called each other these stupid names, and like, that should not be what this is about. Like you said,
correct.
We're forced to do this. This is we need to find, I guess, solutions at this point. On that note, Ed, what if the president decided to appoint you to create a committee and clean this entire thing up, right? And said, guess what, Ed, we're giving you charge of this for the next 12 months. You do what you think is right to fix this in whatever way, shape, or form that you think is the correct way. What would you do?
Well, the first thing I would do that the US hasn't done, but the UK has done. Well, the UK, Denmark, and now Australia have all banned, or not banned, but they're saying don't get boosters if you're under 50. I would completely pull this thing from the market. First, it's gone. No one's allowed to get it. It's illegal. That's number one. Number two, all the heads of all our regulatory bodies would just be gone, and I'd appoint new people. And there'd be investigations as to what went wrong. And I'd also appoint a committee to, I'm not a doctor, but there's a lot of frontline doctors who have been maligned and disenfranchised who are working on solutions to detoxify or rid the body of the spike protein. I believe that our bodies are God-given and they're miracles. And so that I don't want people to be in fear. I don't want people to think that they're going to die. I think there's a way to heal this. I truly believe that. And there's a lot of protocols being worked on. One that I didn't take the vaccine. One I do that, and this is going to be part of the protocols, is fasting. Fasting is a way to reset the body. There's a process called autophagy that eats malformed proteins. It helps prevent Alzheimer's. It grows new stem cells. I do it about once a month. I do intermittent fasting. Fasting for me has been a boon to my health, my mental health, my life, my spiritual life. And there's a reason every religion has done it for centuries. And I think fasting will be part of this, and also other supplements, nutrients. There'll be other things. There's help coming. So I would form a committee to come up with a set of protocols that people could use to because the root of the problem is not all these little symptoms and indications. It's the vaccine, it's vaccine damage, and it's the spike protein. And right now, unfortunately, as you know, 80% of the globe, I think we're up to about 20% of the people who know what's going on. 80% of the globe still has no clue. And we need those people to get a clue, because if this continues and if this is not fixed, Colonel Theresa Long said to me what I see in the rest of the economy. She said we won't have a standing army in 5 years due to vaccine injury, recruitment, all the people who quit or refuse. So we have a problem. We have a problem where we're going to slowly see the global economies break down unless we fix this, because we can't lose this many people to injuries and working at half speed. So that we need to plug the hole, stop it, fix it, and heal. That's what I would do if I was in charge. I'm not. So that's.
Is that why you say it's a national security issue? Correct.
Yeah. Right. I just identified our numbers are conservative. We didn't want people to come at us. Well, we want them to look at us and come at us, but they can't come at us that we're being bombastic. We're probably too conservative. We're on the low side, but almost 30 million Americans, that's 10% of the country, mostly working age, able-bodied, have been injured, disabled, or died. That's devastating to any nation. There's only about 164 people in the civilian labor force, and about 100 to 120 of those are fully employed all the time. So if the 28 million, let's take 5 off, so 25 million are employed. That's 25% of our workforce has an issue. That's a problem.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I am just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
This course has been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just in overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.